Hey there. Welcome to my channel. I'm Solomon, and I'm here to share with you the wisdom that I've gathered and continue to gather in my life, hoping it adds value to yours. If you want to check out my work, my website is in the description box. And if you want to support this channel, do hit that subscribe button. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you get something out of this. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Solomon. And we're having a very esteemed guest here today, my guy, my G, Mr. Aman himself. Go on. You good?
Thank you, bro.
Yes,
you for
sir.
having
Yes,
me.
sir, man. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
So, a lot of people, of course, come on and introduce themselves. So you can go ahead and
Cool.
tell everybody who you are.
So my name is Aman. I'm 27 years old. I'm actually I'm Eritrean, but I was born and raised in Switzerland.
Okay.
Geneva. So
Geneva, shout out to Switzerland, by the way. Anybody from Switzerland, shout out to you.
my guys from
the
Geneva,
Habesha
yeah.
people, shout out to you.
Yes, sir. So I'm actually from Geneva,
Okay.
which is the French part of Switzerland. And right now I'm in DC. I just moved in DC like 4 months ago. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What do you think about DC 4 months?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a big difference. It's a big change for me. Like the US, like Europe, Switzerland, the US. It's a very big change, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of people, they say especially with the US now, the way it is and the political climate, they want to live in Europe.
Yeah.
Because they feel like life here is all about, especially in DC, people are career oriented,
I
work
know,
oriented.
I know.
The first thing I moved to DC about a year and a half now. First thing that people ask me, like social settings, is like, hey, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
It used to piss me off so much. I was like, why are you asking me that?
It's always the same question.
Yeah, I used to have to make up shit. Like, oh, I work for NASA.
Yeah.
I'm a NASA pilot or engineer. Oh, really? Yeah, I just came back from a mission to the moon 2 years ago.
Yeah, no.
And some people actually believe it. And I'm like, yo, and I never I feel bad because I forget to tell them, yo, I was just playing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not like, yeah.
And I get it. So the thing is, I don't know. American people maybe don't like it as I like it, or it's a bit different. So back home, I'm from Geneva, which is a small city.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people. I was raised over there, and
Wait, were you born and raised?
yeah, born and raised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So raised over there. Went to school there. So I don't know how you guys do, like middle school, youth school,
Yeah.
high school, and then college, which college is high school for us.
too. Yeah,
So,
that's high school. Okay.
yeah. So we'll keep it American. So I went to high school,
Uh-huh.
and after high school, I went to the army.
Okay, yeah. You have to do what? Like, it's like Korea, South Korea? You have to do 2 years?
It's a 1 year thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
1 year. Okay.
Went to the army 1 year, and then
Do you get to choose, by the way? Can you?
Yeah,
I
you
want
can
to go
choose.
to the Navy. Can I go to the
oh
Navy?
no, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Oh,
So
you
the thing
have to
is,
do the army.
but you can choose. So you can go to army, which is like a year, but you can split it. You can do the full year, and then you're done,
Uh-huh.
or you can go for like 5 months, and then for the rest, every year you gotta go back for like a month or 3 weeks. It depends on your status.
Yeah.
And
But how do you do 3 weeks in the army? It's not a part-time job, right?
I know, but Switzerland army is.
You'll never get into a situation,
I'm not
yeah.
getting into it, but you can just split it, and you got
Okay.
people as well who can just don't go to the army. So the thing is, if you don't go to the army, you gotta pay, but you can.
Oh, you can buy yourself out of being in the
Yeah,
army.
but it's expensive.
How much is it?
I think they take like 3-4% of your salary a year.
Forever?
A year? No,
Oh, for a year,
until
okay.
until like 35. So when you're a student, it's
That's
like
just okay. So they just add to the tax rate.
yeah, but as a student, it's like 400 a year. So if not everyone got like 400. Of course, you can work and get money. So 400 is cool.
What about those people like rich families? They just buy. They don't
Yeah.
send their kids to they just buy them out of the army.
If you don't want to go to army, they're just gonna pay for that.
Wow. But okay, tell us. So is it good to be? It's actually a good experience to be in the
definitely.
army, right?
Me personally, I always want to go for that. Like,
Yeah.
So I come from a family like Eritrea. He's been in war and all that kind of stuff. So, and at the same time, it's like not related, but I love movies
Yeah.
and I love like military movies, army stuff. So
Yeah.
Since I was a baby, I was like, yeah, I want to go to army.
Yeah, I want to shoot some shit up. They teach you how to use the
but that's
military.
crazy. That's crazy. So I got to the army after high school, and first day I got there, they gave us our like gear stuff, like clothes. Second day, they gave me a gun.
Second day, wow.
The second day of army, they gave me a gun. It was like, this is your gun. You got to take care of it.
But you don't know how to shoot it.
I don't know how to shoot it.
Don't they have to teach you that first?
But they gave me the gun, and it was like, yeah, you got to. I mean, that was security first, stuff like that. But they were like, this is your gun. You got to make sure it's whatever happens, it's on you. And then on the following days and weeks, they make sure you know how to use it. And then you got security procedure and all that kind of stuff. So by the end of it, I was like, I was good with it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's backwards. Especially when I'm that young, you know, I'm not super mature.
Obviously.
If you have anger issues, like I used to have anger issues.
But that's the thing.
If I got in a fight with somebody, oh, what? Let me go get my military.
So, you know how it goes is when you turn 18, you get a letter at home. It says like you got to come to, you got specific places in Switzerland. So I think you got 2 or 3 places, and you got to go to the closest to yours place, and you got to stay there for 2 days. During these 2 days, you're gonna get like exercise, mental health. You got to go see a doctor. You got a lot of tests, and with this test, they'll be like, okay, you can go to army, or you're not going at all. It'll be like if you're not good physically.
Yeah, if you're not mentally or physically.
Yeah. You're not going to army. Yeah. But if you, I mean, let's say you got, I don't know, any physical issue, you're like, oh, that's on you. You're gonna pay. I mean,
I still have to pay even if I can't. I'm physically.
If you got a handicap or something, I don't know how it exactly works, but some people they just play dumb.
Yeah. That's why I walk in with a limp. Like
I swear, I was there for 2 days, right? After the first day, we went on to eat, and the guy took his chair, sat in front of a trash, and he was touching it like playing dumb and just acting like he was like mentally ill. And I saw a surgeon who was like, yo, he called someone. He's like, yeah, take this guy. We don't need him. Like, I don't know what he did. Like, I don't know if he's paying or I don't know what happened to him, but I don't know.
But yeah, if I was the officer screening for this stuff, imagine the stuff they see. All the people making up stuff. I'd be like, boy, if you don't stop, I'll slap that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But then you got people like me who want to do it.
And then
so we went for real.
Because they have to watch for both cases. People who don't want to go and people who are just too excited. Like, you too excited.
But they serious about it. Like, I know. So we were split into 4 groups.
Okay.
My groups were number 1. And there's about 15, 20 people in the group. So we do everything together. We had to like physically test, mentally test, French test, language, I mean, whatever. And we've had like a lot of tests and then went out to eat. And the thing is, they don't call you by your name, they call you by number. So I was number 20, like 320 or something like that. And then you eating and you hear on the radio. So I need number this, and this number to go to the doctor office. You guys got to check your like psycholog or something like that.
Yeah.
The answer they put it online. I was like, are you guys serious? Like, they ask you question like, are you scared to use a gun? And some people just be like, oh, I love guns. I've been playing COD for like
the
years.
Call of Duty. You know how many Call of Duty players are gonna be?
And they're like, yeah, if I get a chance, I'll just use the gun like for whatever. And
that's a wild answer to give them. Like,
and you're like, bro, this is serious stuff.
This is like,
I don't want to get like, both of us if you go to army and you're like playing ill. I mean, of course I love the thing, but I don't want you to have a gun next to me.
Right? You're gonna shoot me by accident.
Yeah, that's for real. It's not a game, like for real. And a lot of accidents happen. Honestly, like I've heard about people dying because someone like didn't know how to use his gun properly.
Yeah,
that's shit.
Yeah. But, and so wait, by the way, so you went to the army, you did 2 years, and then after
a year.
1 year. Yeah. Okay, right. This is 1 year, and then after the 1 year, you go to university.
Yeah.
So most people go do the army, and then So they do this before university, because in South Korea, I think they can choose to do it after.
We can choose to.
Okay.
So most of my friends, they went on to do this after university.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I need a break. Like, I don't want to go straight to uni.
Yeah.
So I was like, high school done, I'm going to army. Because the thing is, me, I went there, I don't know. You got people over there that are like 18, 19, 20. So if you go after uni, some people will be like, I don't want to go. I'll be like 25, 26, and I'll have like a kid, 18 years old, like screaming at me and giving me orders. Me, I don't care about that, but you got people like, they're not willing to have like kids telling them what to do.
Oh, okay, it's an age thing too. Like,
yeah,
you want to go with
an
people
ego
age
thing. It's an ego thing. I don't care, but people care about it.
Okay.
And I was like, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
You gotta play the game. I mean, I was like, I'm going there. I'm like, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
They asked me to like do this. I'd be like, yes, sir. I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's for fun. It's a year, and then you come back, and that's experience.
Yeah. What did they teach you? Do you think we can move on
Honestly,
from this topic, but like, the one reason so my father was in the Navy, Ethiopian Navy. For people out there, like, oh, isn't it Ethiopia a landlocked country? Why is there a Navy? It's a good question. I still don't know the answer to this. I asked my dad this too, but I'm guessing it has to do with the Red Sea and monitoring the security of the region. But he was in the Navy before becoming a refugee, and the people, my uncles, that I hung out with, they're also like Navy or Army people. Some of them are very sharp, disciplined, strong. Like, I've never seen a big Habesha until one of my uncles I saw him, like, bodybuilder. I used to come to church, and I was a bad kid when I was a kid. I used to come to church, and then I'm like, Ethiopian churches, they're for those folks who don't know, you got to be standing for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that's
it's a long time.
That's a long time.
And if you're a kid like me with like ADHD symptoms, I'm too hyper to be standing for that long, and stand still too. And so I would sit down. I'm like, nah, y'all wildin'. So I'll just sit down, and the strong uncle that I told you would just do this with his knuckles.
You know how this
It's not even hard. He just
hurts.
It hurts so bad, bro. I was like, nah. And then, but he was like, all of them were very disciplined people. So I always wanted to experience going to the Army or being a Navy, or like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
To just like learn how that discipline, because that, not just discipline, but like, it's a certain way of looking at life, a perspective of life.
Definitely.
That is, it's almost like, it reminds me of, discipline isn't even the right word, but like diligence, or the kind of ways that people who are very religious function also, right? In terms of how they structure their lives. I pray 5 times a day. I do this. This is who I am. This is how I care.
You got to take care of everything. You got to make sure everything is it's not about yourself. It's about yourself, your team, your everybody.
Right.
It's a lot of
leadership, right? Probably.
Yeah. That's, so me, when I got there, I was like, that was new to me. It's new to everybody, but you get there and you meeting like, I don't know, 200, a lot of people like your age, a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
You don't know them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you guys are gonna live in this room. You guys are gonna be here. You guys are gonna be here. You guys are gonna stay together for like a year. And you don't know nobody.
Right.
I was lucky enough to have like my room. It was like a room of 8 people, and I knew one guy. He was from the same city. I knew him like very good. I was like, yeah, that's cool. But he left after like 3 weeks. So
why did he leave after 3?
It was like, bro, this shit is not for me.
So he's gonna pay?
I think so. I said we can go to Army. You can pay, and there's like an in between where you can work for the states, like your city, and it's good. Like, you're gonna get paid the same thing as we get paid at the Army, and it's good. Like, you
could do a desk job.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but you gotta be like, some places they need help, so it's gonna be, we gotta send you these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So he left, but I was like, you know what, it's cool. Like, I'm kind of open, like, to meet new people, and it was like, it's a family thing.
Yeah.
First, I didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
And now I still have, it's always like 2018, and now I still call some of them like, this guy's my brother, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's, you got discipline, you got like leadership, you got lots.
Yeah. Learning how to connect people from different, walks of
Yeah,
life,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I mean,
Like
we all come from different
socioeconomic
backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta be sharp.
Yeah.
So every morning, let's say you gotta wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna do your thing, you're gonna go to sports, whatever, and then you're gonna be outside waiting for one guy is gonna check every rooms, and if he sees like one dirt or a bed is not like clean, it's over for everybody. Like,
Really?
let's say I've messed up my room, you're gonna pay for me, and I'm not even. It's I don't know. It's gonna be like you guys gonna run for like an hour, and me, I'm just gonna watch you.
Oh, the person who messed up doesn't get the punishment.
No, but
Everybody
everybody
gets
gets
psychologically crazy
it is.
though. Yeah.
It is. I've seen people. So I was not like I love to play with people. I love to like mess up with people, and like I messed up once, and I didn't pay for it, but my team they paid for it, and they were so mad at me. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like it was like raining outside. Like everybody like physically, mentally, it's like tough.
Yeah.
And some of them they came from our room like, "Bro, man, you gotta stop. Like we're sick of it.
Yeah.
Like you playing with everybody, and then this shit happen to us. Like it's a family thing. You gotta make sure you're right, but your brothers gotta be right as well." So
that's true.
I loved it. I loved
would
it.
have got jumped. They would have jumped me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be like, "Oh man, yeah, you guys tired? I'll be eating soup." I'm like, okay, man, we'll do it next time, man. We'll do it next time. I got you next time. If you mess up, I got you.
Right.
Be messing up the whole time.
You got people saying like, so one punishment was like, you guys gotta. So it's like, how do you say it? It's a hill. Yeah. It was like you guys gonna run, top down, 10 times, and after the 5th time, it was like, oh, you know, it's too easy. You guys gonna carry a man and do the same thing again. People were like carrying me, hating on me, like swearing on me, like you're a dead man and stuff like that. I was like, right, this shit. That was funny, but yeah, I love it.
I would enjoy it too.
I was laughing, but I was like, yeah, they were hating on me, but at the end of the day, it was like great experience. Like I loved it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, okay, and then in school, what did you study in school?
So
like university?
Yeah, so I finished the army and I went on to live in Toronto. So I've always wanted, like, I don't like to stay in my comfort zone, right? And I've had friends going like, bro, school, sports, and I was like, bro, I want to do the same thing. And my mom was like, yeah, I mean, you know, Habesha mom, she's like, no, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna stay here. You're gonna go uni. You got uni around here, and yeah, I mean, you gotta get a job. You're gonna get a wife and kids, and you're gonna stay with me.
Yeah, the wife and kids and the job.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I was like, I'm young. I need experience. Like, I want to go abroad. I want to go overseas and see how it is. So I just worked my ass off, got myself some money because I didn't want to ask my mom money, and I still had like army money. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go Canada.
So in terms of like, for people, for other Habeshas or Habeshas in general, when we say Habesha, we're talking about the Eritrean and Ethiopian community. Yeah. So what, any advice for them, particularly if there's anybody who's watching who's like new to Switzerland, Geneva even, they're trying to figure out how to navigate life in Europe or Switzerland in particular?
There's something that makes me happy is back home. I mean, Habesha, we're really like a beautiful community. Like we want to help each other.
Not all Habesha communities say that. From some in America, really.
Okay, so I don't know a lot about Habesha in America, right? But back in Europe, we all stick together. Like it's crazy. I got people like white people, like black people from other community, and Asian people be like, you guys Habesha like stick, like you help each other, like for real. Yeah.
That's what it was when I grew up in Yemen. It was the same thing. Like it was so weird for me, in my parents included, come here back then. You know, I guess it's like if you're in a situation where everyone is experiencing struggle, which to a certain extent makes you work together. There's a kind of unity, but people here are also struggling. They're just hiding how they're struggling.
No.
Whereas back in Yemen, like everyone's like, oh, this person's struggling this, we'll
Are
help
you
you with that.
helping? Yeah.
Like, oh, you can't pay rent for a month. Okay, you can stay with us until you find a job.
Exactly.
No problem.
Exactly.
They'll take their shirt off their back and give it to you.
Exactly.
But here,
That's
it's like,
love.
there's the.
I don't know a lot
there's
about
nothing.
America, but back home in Europe,
Mhm.
we work it like that there. Like
That's
it's
good.
you've been through some bad stuff, so you don't want like your neighbors or nobody to be like get into that.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of it. Like we help each other. Very like we want to help each other. So I know for a fact like Habesha coming to Switzerland, I meet them a lot. So a good start is when I was in high school. I like so you got majors, minors, stuff like that, and I was with the sports class. So I used to have like I used to play soccer, so I had like full days of sports when other kids they had like 2 hours a week, and we used to train around a lot in a specific field. And every Wednesday when I had classes, we had like new Habesha. They just got in town and they were playing football like soccer every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I speak Tigrinya, so every Wednesday I used to see them going over there. My teacher was like, "Can you tell them like we need the space?" And I was like, "Guys, we need to train. You guys can still play, but we're gonna run around. That's cool and stuff like that." And I used to see them when I was practicing with my high school team.
Mm-hmm.
I used to see them at church, and every Saturday they were playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So every Saturday they were like, "Aman, come with us." So I used to go play with them. I used to see them a lot, and that was so nice because they were asking me questions like, "How can I do this? How can I do that?" I was like, "All right, let me help you. Let me do this. Let me do that for you."
Yeah.
And it's a family thing. Like, it's love. Just like when we eat in Jeddah, which is our food.
Yeah.
The plate we all eat in one plate, right?
Right.
And my uncle, he calls it like the dish of love because we all eat in the same plate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna feed you, you're gonna feed me, and stuff like that. And when he got into Europe, I mean, even though we still help each other, he was like, "Nah, everybody like eats on his own plate. There is no love anymore. It's like you by yourself, he's by himself, I'm by myself." And there is something about our communities that we want to stay together. We want to help, and it's just not the community. If I see like any other people like struggling, I'll be like, "Let me help you."
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy like about the community, and I know that. I mean, you gotta ask. So just to answer your question, obviously when you need help, you gotta ask for it. It's very hard. No one's gonna ask for help. Like you feel like you're weak, or something, but you gotta ask for it.
Yeah.
And if not, I know back home we're just gonna come to you and ask you like, "You good?" I was like,
yeah.
"Are you adapting yourself? Are you adjusting?" Just like you did for me, like when I got in the US.
All right.
We met, and you asked me like, "How is it? Are you good? You need help?" You called me. This is love. This is Habesha thing. I mean, I love it.
Right. Here, actually, even when we're in DC like that, Habesha people don't even say.
I mean, you did.
Sometimes I know because I didn't grow up in like this
Yeah.
DC environment or even in Ethiopia for the most part. So like I get excited when I see how the Habesha people because maybe it's like because there's so many of them here, they don't get as excited.
Yeah,
it's like you cool, you good, bro. But okay, so last from your experiences now, like international work, embassy work, government work for Switzerland, and also for people. Actually, taking a step back before I ask you that, so a lot of people experience like there's a lot of racism in America. Obviously, it's known for that. What was it like being Eritrean and growing up and going to school and working in Switzerland? Is it the same degree, you think, or is it not?
So there's a lot of racism in the US, but there's racism all over the world, right?
Right.
I wouldn't say the same degree, and it's not exposed like, I mean, whatever you said US in Europe, it's like a TV show. Like you see what's happening in here, and like it's crazy. Like you can. My mom, when she knew I was coming to the States, she was like, "I don't want you to go to the States. Like it's dangerous, it's crazy. Even though there's a lot of Habesha, I don't feel like it's gonna be safe for you." Okay. And back home, there's a lot of. I mean, I grew up as an Eritrean guy, but I grew up as a black guy too. So I mean, at school, it can be joke. Soccer, football. I mean, I call it football. You got to make sure this is football, not
We're
soccer.
gonna use football. Everyone should know
So,
football. Yeah.
Football. Swiss, like the French part, you'll get a lot of international community. You get black people, Latinos people, you get like Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I grew up in the most international areas. When you go to the German speaking part, Italian speaking part, it's a bit different. And I was playing football, so I used to travel over there. And I remember like going over there, it was like a lot of racism. I used to play and hear like monkey noises, sounds, or people like just stupid people, right?
Like these are people watching the game, the
Yeah.
fans or the other players?
Watching the game. You got fans coming to the game, and it's an away game, so you're traveling a couple hours. I don't get my family to come with me. I don't get like friends come. Not a lot. I mean, you go over there, and my team. I remember at the time it was like out of the 11 starters, it was like 7 or 8 black people.
Wow.
We get to this.
Basically, like the team France, like the French team.
Yeah, this is it. And I remember that one game, it was like in the Swiss German part. And it's kind of normal being like racist.
Okay.
And then we got there, and for the whole 90 minutes, I had like people in my corner. Like I used to play like left wing, right wing, midfielder. And I had people like screaming at me, like in German. Some words I didn't even know, like what the meaning of it.
Yeah.
The whole game, they were like screaming at me. And even it's competitive. Like like people screaming at you. It's good. It's the environment. Then the game ends, and you got to change yourself. Like people screaming at me. They want to throw stuff at you. Like what?
That's crazy.
It's a game. You gotta be like 45 years old. You come to your kid, and you want to fight with like an 18 years old guy. I mean,
yeah, especially when you're older. I would get in so many fights. I wouldn't even play soccer. I would just be fighting. The whole season would just be highlights of not me playing. Like the highlights I would send is the highlights of me fighting these racist dickheads.
But there's a lot of stuff like this. Yeah. And if it's not sports, it's like in everyday life. You're gonna walk somewhere. It's nighttime. You gotta get like a cop car is coming and be like, "Oh, let me just search you." Like
frisking there too. Yeah. Okay.
So what are you doing? Like you got drugs with you? I'm like, why would I have drugs with me?
Right.
Like, you been drinking? No, I don't drink. Oh, you've been doing this. You've been doing that. I'm like, well, why you ask me all this question? Why you don't ask him?
Right.
Like any random guy. Why me? And it's just an ongoing thing. It's not like in the US,
but it's still
mostly about the killing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still there. Yeah.
Right. So, in terms of now, as we end this segment, any piece of advice for, or not piece of advice, but like pieces of wisdom? Like, what's the biggest piece of wisdom you think you've gotten from all these experiences so far? The army, the work, the traveling. What's one thing you learned about life that you would share with other people?
That's not tough to answer, but it's tough as well. So I want to make sure I say it right. I'll say, so as I said, I want to get out of my comfort zone every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell myself, you gotta try everything. Like it's not about, even if you fail, it's not about failing. It's like you're learning, right?
Right.
And if I want something, I'll go for it. Like you gotta try it. If I didn't like go outside of my comfort zone, if I didn't like move to Canada, Spain, the States, I don't know, maybe I'll have a good job, I'll be at home right now, but I feel like I'm the man I am today because I made this choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm extremely happy with that. So I'll say just go for it. If you have like an idea in mind or whatever, just go for it.
Yeah.
Try it. If it doesn't work, I mean, there is something better coming after that, right?
Yeah.
There's a door closing, another one opening. And I'm like, you gotta try it and just believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself and do whatever you want to do. But keep listening to you. I mean, there's no such thing as you older than me, so you gotta teach me life, right? Obviously, if you got a lot of experience, I'll be happy to listen. Like, there's always something I can learn from you, anyone else.
Right. Yeah.
Just be open, be nice to people, and go for what you want to go.
Yeah. Oh, those are good reels. Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you for having me,
Thank you for
bro.
coming on.
Thank you, bro.